Maybe it's my hair. Maybe it's my face. It's obviously not my social skills. Maybe it's the way I talk. She always hated that. Perhaps I smell. I always thought I smelled. Or maybe it's the way I dress. The truth is, I don't quite know what I did wrong. Maybe it's just the way I am.
What's the matter, Keith?
My girlfriend broke up with me. She seems very upset with me.
I'm sorry to hear that, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
Perhaps you should forget about her.
I just cannot do that, Keith. She's the one for me, I'm sure of it.
Perhaps you should talk to her.
Perhaps, but I feel as though she doesn't want to talk to me.
Whatever you decide to do, Keith, I will support you. You are my friend, and due to our long-standing friendship, I would consider you a brother, but not a literal one.
Thank you, Keith. This means a lot to me. I feel both overwhelmed with emotion and overjoyed by our friendship that I have derived much joy from.
Would you like a hug?
No.
You know, whenever I find myself scared or confused, I think about death.
Yes, sometimes I think about that too. Keith, why do I think about that?
Maybe it's because you don't have to think when you die.
It may be that, Keith.
But it probably isn't.
Okay, Keith.
You should go to her, Keith.
I would like to, Keith, but I'm afraid.
Do not be afraid. Just think about dying so you don't have to think. Then you should be perfectly fine.
I think you're right, Keith. I feel much better now.
I'm glad to hear this.
I'm going to go to her now, as you told me to.
I am proud of you.
You are a good friend, and I cherish our moments.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome, Keith.
I hope it goes.
Goodbye, Keith.
This morning, we are following breaking news. 4 people are dead after this horrible crash here in Chula Vista.
Yeah, 2 cars crashed here, with one of them completely split in half.
I never would have expected this. One minute, I'm happy-go-lucky Keith trying to save my relationship from the hardships of mistrust, and the next minute, I'm happy-go-lucky Keith lying motionless in the middle of a street. I'm not quite sure what happened. All I know is I'm in a lot of pain, and I don't understand what's happening. I wonder if Keith is okay. I wonder if I'll survive this. I wonder if I'm going to have to buy a new car. I liked my old one just fine, but I'm afraid it may be out of commission for a while. At least someone's coming to help me.
Qu'est-ce que je fais? Je m'arrête ou je continue? J'ai 15 ans, où j'en suis? À la fin ou au début? Stop, encore. Je passe le bac ou je deviens cloche. Je vais en fac ou au cinoche. Je prends la porte où je me supporte. Je fume du hache ou des gauloises. Je fais des gags ou des ardoises.
I wonder if my girlfriend will take me back now that I've been in a potentially fatal and life-threatening car accident. She probably won't, but it's a nice thought.
Perhaps you should forget about her. Perhaps you should forget about her. Perhaps you should forget. Perhaps you should forget about. Perhaps you should forget. Perhaps you should forget. Perhaps you should forget. Perhaps you should forget.
It is certainly unsettling having to walk home alone at night after being left for dead in my local Home Depot. But there is some beautiful poetry to saying that ridiculous sentence out loud that reassures me that everything will be okay. Get out of my head, Keith. I'll be home soon enough. You hit me in the face. I saved you from a certain death. But you didn't save me from the accident.
In 2 minutes and 37 seconds from when I picked you up off the ground, a drunk driver would have flattened you.
How do you know this?
I just cannot say that, Keith.
Why did you put me in a Home Depot?
I cannot give you a good answer to that question, Keith.
How do you know my name is Keith?
Let me see your ID.
My ID?
I want to see your identity.
Why do you want to do this?
I have to see for myself.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Thank you.
What happens now?
In 2 episodes, you'll see me again.
Episodes?
How'd it go?
I'm pretty sure I just got mugged.
Mucha muchacha,
Jesus Christ.
No, it's me.
Oh, I must have mistaken you. How did it go?
There were unforeseen events.
Unforeseen events?
Unforeseen events.
What kind of unforeseen events?
The kind of unforeseen events where Keith gets hit by a car and almost dies in the middle of the street.
But I didn't get hit by a car and almost die in the middle of the street.
No, not you, Keith. I'm talking about Keith.
Oh, Keith. So what did you do?
I made sure he didn't die.
Why would you do that?
Because that isn't right. That isn't how it's supposed to happen.
You're right. The way I see it, I'm paying you to kill Keith when he could have went and died himself.
But,
Meaning I paid you to not kill Keith.
yes, but,
Meanwhile, you're here talking to me about how you heroically rescued your target in this time of need, and Keith could be anywhere right now.
no,
He could be halfway to Canada by now.
I put him in a Home Depot.
What did you do?
Home Depot? It's a home improvement supply superstore.
I know what Home Depot is. Why is he at Home Depot?
It was nearby.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is, why?
He was, he was lying in the street like a mile and a half away.
Sorry, let me get this straight. I pay you to kill Keith.
Right,
Keith is almost killed in a car accident.
correct.
You, a hitman, save him from the wreckage.
So far, so good.
Then you carry him a mile and a half to put him in a Home Depot.
Pretty much sums it up.
Listen, I will pay you extra. No, I will pay you double if you kill Keith immediately. No more games, no more ruses, no more Home Depots.
But Keith, there's a problem.
What is it?
It's something I saw. It's his identity. It's his eyes. I could see something strange.
His eyes are brown. No, it's like the most common eye color.
I'm telling you, if we kill him, we may be losing the best thing that's ever happened to us.
Kill him tomorrow. No more questions. If you want your money, do your job.
But,
If you want your money, do your job.
yes, Keith.
How'd it go?
I'm pretty sure I just got mugged.
Me too.
That's no good.
It's no good at all.
We should go to a restaurant so I can eat away the pain of being in both a car accident and a Home Depot display shower.
I feel like I missed a lot.
It's been a long, strange day. But if we rush, we can make it to Ben's Broiled Burgers before we are met by the cold hands of starvation.
Perhaps you're right, Keith.
Then let's go, Keith.
But first, Keith, I have to tell you something.
What is it, Keith?
When you left, a man came here.
That's disgusting, Keith.
He was a mysterious man I had never seen before. Have you seen him before, Keith?
If you're talking about the man who stalked me, put me in a false shower, and then grabbed my ID, yes, I did see him.
He's a strange character, Keith. I'm worried he might be up to something devious.
It doesn't matter what he's up to, Keith, because I, Keith, have my best friend Keith looking after me the whole time. Isn't that right, Keith?
Right, Keith. But you have to be practical. If he...
I don't want to think about something like that, Keith. For all we know, he could just be a thesaurus salesman.
A thesaurus salesman?
A thesaurus is a book that lists words in groups of synonyms and related concepts.
Yeah, but...
I'm just saying, after the day I've been through, I don't want to worry. I just want to sit back, relax, and look at a Home Depot catalog because there was a sink there that shined like the Chrysler Building.
Keith,
What is it, Keith?
you're my best friend. You know that, right?
Correct.
This is good to hear.
Likewise.
Now let's go home.
Public transportation is getting faster and faster every day.
It's all because of the Ford administration. Ever since... What was that?
It's probably just fate dealing a hefty serving of cold, swift justice upon some unlikely band of misfits causing a ruckus down the street.
That's likely, Keith. But I'm still very on edge after the confrontation I had earlier.
With the thesaurus salesman?
Yes, Keith.
I'm telling you, everything's going to be perfectly fine.
It isn't.
Oh,
It's time.
what time is it?
8:30.
Already?
I think what he means is, it's time for something devious.
Yes, that is exactly what I meant. It's time for something devious.
Something devious? Well, that doesn't sound good.
I've been waiting for a long time to do this, Keith.
Keith, he's talking to you.
No, Keith, he's talking to you.
But he said Keith.
I'm sorry, Keith, but it's the only way.
Betrayal. I guess this is what it feels like to be James Franco in the second Spider-Man movie.
Don't spoil it. I just watched the first one last night.
I don't believe this gross miscarriage of justice, Keith. I thought we were best friends.
We are. That's why I'm giving you this much time to say goodbye.
But I don't want to say goodbye.
Do it.
Oh,
He paid me to kill you,
so why would you kill him?
because I knew you'd pay me extra if I kept you alive.
No, I won't.
What?
I don't have any money. I lost my job last year.
So you're not gonna pay me?
No, but I can give you a crisp pat on the back and a firm job well done.
I appreciate the accolades, but that just won't cut it.
Oh. If I had known that when I woke up yesterday my girlfriend would break up with me, my best friend would betray me, my automobile would crumble under the weight of life's pressures, and my spirits would be left in a cold, damp Home Depot shower, well, I would have taken longer to brush my teeth. As it stands, I've never been more afraid for my life than I am right now. And I don't even have a friend to share it with. Maybe I never did. The truth is, despite everything that happened, I'm going to miss Keith. He kept me from making terrible decisions, although given the current situation I'm in, that may not be entirely true. I just wish it had happened differently. I just wish I could be someplace else. Maybe someplace where I can feel safe and happy. As of right now, I'm not sure I'll ever get that luxury again. But no matter what happens, I'm not giving up. Keith didn't die to have me give up this easily. Wait, Keith betrayed me, then got stabbed by his own hitman. Regardless, this is far from over.
The bank to the boogie, so up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. To the rhythm of the boogie to beat. I dare go like simple and plain as prominent basic Zulu arrangement, rockin' amazement, flocko, radiant from heaven to pavement. They phony as a facelift from nothing to play with. Spend time hating it, but that ain't changing it. God give it to me, nobody is taking it. Therefore, moving on the basis, stimulus, standing in the twilight, I'm watching them get it in the walls, trembling in the air, simmering, she moving like more than
It was fate that brought them together, that brought them all together. Keith and Keith, the mysterious man and Keith, the mysterious man and Keith. Well, the other Keith. The truth is, as of right now, we don't know why Keith did what he did, deciding to sell out his best friend for what? Money? Hatred? Why did Keith do what he did? Perhaps the only person who could tell us this is the mysterious man, or perhaps I should call him by his real name, Keith. That's right, Keith decided to get Keith to kill Keith for reasons only Keith and Keith know. I think the best way to probe this is by taking a step back and giving ourselves some time to understand who's who and what's what.
Maybe it's my hair, maybe it's my face. It's obviously not my social skills. Maybe it's the way I talk. He always hated that. Perhaps I smell. I always thought that I smelled. Or maybe it's the way I dress. The truth is, I don't quite know what I did wrong. Maybe it's just the way I am.
What's the matter, Keith?
My boyfriend broke up with me. He seems very upset with me.
I'm sorry to hear that, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
Perhaps you should forget about him.
I just cannot do that, Keith. He's the one for me, I'm sure of it.
Perhaps you should talk to him.
Perhaps, but I feel as though he doesn't want to see me.
Well, what seems to be the problem?
He lives with another man named Keith. He wants him dead, but I'm no hitman.
Would you like a hug?
No.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, the problem is, after Keith asked me to kill Keith, I've resented him for it, and felt uneasy about our whole situation.
Maybe.
If someone deserves to die, it's Keith, not Keith.
You may be right.
Now is not the time to quote Billy Joel.
Sorry.
Also, if I kill Keith instead of Keith, I might get a little spending money out of it. You know, like Keith paying me for killing Keith instead of Keith.
That makes sense, Keith.
It does.
But what if Keith doesn't have any money?
Then I'll just kill them both. I don't really care at this point. I'm getting bored of this whole plot line.
You should go to him, Keith.
And kill him? Or them?
If you have to. Do what you must do to keep your conscience clean.
I think you're right, Keith. I feel much better now.
I'm glad to hear this.
I'm going to go to him now, as you told me to.
I am proud of you.
You are a good friend, and I cherish our moments.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome, Keith.
I hope it goes
Goodbye, Keith.
Now, my problem with that sequence is that it didn't make much sense. So the hitman's gay. I mean, it is 2016, but he killed Keith to keep Keith alive. If so, why is he trying to kill Keith now? Because he wants money? Was he driven by love, lust, or greed? It's moving so fast I could hardly figure out where the plot's going. Maybe taking a step back was a bad idea. Let's take a step forward to after all of this.
It's a shame.
What is?
What happened?
What happened?
You didn't hear about Keith?
No, what happened to Keith?
Keith paid Keith to kill Keith, but Keith managed to get away. But Keith followed Keith, and you wouldn't believe how... Wait, did you cut your hair?
Not that much. I'm trying to keep it at a good length, you know? I don't want to get it too long or get cut too short.
That's a good way to live.
You're right, Keith.
You know, it really is a shame about Keith.
It sure is.
I was good friends with him before all this.
I think now would be the best time for a flashback.
Once upon a time, the idea was good. If only they don't.
No flashback.
That was a good flashback.
I liked it.
I think we really got depth out of the characters.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I did not touch your mouth.
I'm sorry for implying that you have done so.
It's okay, we can work through this.
Did you watch that new episode of that late night talk show, Keith Live, last night? My favorite part was when Abraham Lincoln...
I'm learning a lot of nothing very quickly. Who are these people? What are their relationships with Keith? Do they actually see flashbacks, or do they both pretend they're seeing them just to make the situation less uncomfortable? What is happening? Okay, you know what? No more stepping. Stepping back didn't work, stepping forward didn't work. Let's just step to the present. Okay, that isn't the present. Let me try that again.
You've been away for a long time.
What do you mean?
You left us in the real world to play games with Keith and Keith.
Well, I'm not playing with Keith anymore. He's dead. He betrayed me.
I know.
Who are you?
I look after you.
Like a guardian angel?
Not exactly.
Like Mary Jane to James Franco in the third Spider-Man movie?
Don't spoil it. I watched the second one last night.
How do I escape from Keith?
You don't.
What do you mean?
You don't escape.
Okay, well, that's not very useful advice.
If you escape, you win nothing.
How do I win if I don't escape?
If you don't escape, he'll attempt to kill you, but it won't work.
Why not?
See for yourself.
What do you mean?
There's a place somewhere where there's a man named Keith. He looks like you. He sounds like you. He acts like you. But he's not you.
Who am I?
We won't know until it happens.
Until what happens?
Until you die. But if you die, if you get killed by Keith, you'll either be yourself or someone else entirely.
I don't understand. How will I know if I changed or not?
You won't.
So, how do I know if it works?
Shut up, bitch.
What? Shit.
Hey, Pancho! Why you yeah, my people say chicken corn, when the corn keep going. Chicken corn, so the corn keep going. Chicken corn, so the corn keep chicken corn, so the corn keep chicken corn, so the corn keep
Turn that thing on. Are you filming me? Dude, seriously. Turn it off.
Get out of my house. It's over. Leave. Just don't ever talk to me again.
Because you're a fucking dick.
You're fired!
Keith. 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 Keith.
This morning, we are following breaking news. 4 people are dead after this horrible crash here in Chula Vista.
Yeah, 2 cars crashed here with one of them completely split in half. Now a major street is shut down while officers investigate. 10 News reporter Matt Mendez is there live right now. And Matt, any idea when the street will reopen?
Yeah, well, it's been shut down since early this morning. They expected the street to reopen at about 7:30, but obviously it's taken them a little bit longer. Now, these guys just arrived on scene. They are friends with one of the only passenger who survived.
I can't believe you did this, Keith.
I'm sorry, Keith.
Hey, Keith.
Yes, Keith?
I hate you.
Keith!
What?
I'm ready to go.
So what? I'm busy looking at sinks.
We don't need a sink, Keith.
We don't need one, but
You're gonna get yourself killed.
by sinks? Unlikely. Maybe if I fall on one.
By Keith, idiot.
Hey, since when do you care if I get killed or not anyway?
I just think you should take care of yourself, Keith.
Keith thinks I'm dead, remember? When he stabbed me?
Yeah.
Remember? When he had me stabbed?
Yeah, but it's better to be safe than the other thing.
Sorry?
I said it's better to be safe than the other thing.
Fine, let's go. But I'm only leaving because the sink selection is laughable.
Okay, Keith.
Crap, it's Keith, duck! Fine, you caught me. Go ahead, stab me again. You win.
What?
You didn't come hunt me down after finding out I survived your futile assassination attempt?
Keith, it's been over a year. I knew you were alive almost immediately.
A year? This was like a month ago.
Oh, right. I guess it just feels like a year.
So you're not gonna stab me?
I mean, do you want me to?
No, but...
Look, I'm in trouble. There's talk around town that I stabbed this guy, but I didn't stab this guy, you know?
Wait, what?
So I was like, I'll just swing by Home Depot and see if my buddy Keith would like to help me catch the real killer.
Buddy?
Yeah!
I guess you forgot that last time I saw you, you punched me in the face, mugged me, then stabbed me and my best friend, right?
Best friend who tried to kill you.
I remember the details.
Anyway, big deal. So what? Water under the bridge, you know?
Are you serious?
Look, I need help and you're gonna help me.
For what?
Or I'm gonna stab you.
Really? What's up with you and stabbing people?
Are you gonna be a good friend? Or are you gonna be a stabbed guy?
So who is this guy? He's my old friend. He used to be a criminal too, and just like you, he was framed for a murder he didn't commit. Although I still think he did it. Whoa, sweet. Right, I mean, not really. Anyway, I figured he might be able to help out. Keith. Keith. Keith.
Keith? What's up, buddy? I was just taking a nap. Who's this guy?
This is Keith.
Well, pleased to meet you, Keith. I'm Keith. Keith, why'd you bring Keith here?
I brought Keith here because he's been framed for murder, just like you.
Oh, yeah? Well, I don't know if I can be much help. I'm kind of feeling like Murtaugh's toilet scene in Lethal Weapon 2.
Don't spoil it. I just watched the first one last night.
What I mean is, I'm feeling shitty.
You look shitty.
Well, I've been through hell and back, and I don't need you bringing some freak here.
I'm not a freak. I'm gifted.
Oh, right. And I'm a homeless lunatic.
You are a homeless lunatic.
I know what I said.
Dude, do you even remember Vine?
What are vines?
How long have you been homeless?
Not that long. Maybe a month.
Dude, I think it's been longer than you think. I'm telling you, Vines, that was like...
Hello?
2015 or something?
Stop messing around where you don't belong.
I told you I won't come back to the pool anymore. It was a mistake. I was drunk. I just...
Pool? No, I'm talking about the murder of Keith Kenneth Carter from the crippled Clement. Stay out of it. It only concerns me. And Keith.
Well, Keith kind of threatened to stab me if I don't help, so I don't know what to do.
You don't butt out. I'll stab you.
So either way, I get stabbed.
I guess.
Great.
I'm telling you, kid. You keep sniffing around this, you're dead. I know where you live. 648 Keith Drive.
How'd you know that? How do you know that? There is no way Spider-Man 3 is the best one. It doesn't even rank!
You're so wrong, dude.
Yeah, we gotta go. Whatever this is, you have to leave me out of it.
I guess you forgot that I'll stab you.
Of course I didn't forget that, but if I help, I get stabbed. If I don't help, I get stabbed. Why does everyone want to stab me?
We want to stab you because we think you're lovely, Keith.
What?
Look,
If I'm helping, no one can know. Got it?
Understood.
Okay. I think you should go home and get some rest. Maybe try to find out where exactly he died or where his house is. Then tomorrow we can see what's up.
You're so pretty when you make plans.
What?
Alright, I'm on it, boss.
Whatever. Hello?
You shouldn't have done that.
I thought there was no one nearby and my toilet was clogged, so I had to improvise.
Huh? No, I'm talking about Keith.
Oh.
I told you to back off and you didn't. And now you're gonna pay.
I don't have any money.
Then I guess I'll have to kill you.
I might already be dead. The events of last month are unclear.
Then I guess I'll have to stab you anyway.
No!
Keep on learning. Soldier.
Hey, what's up? I got it. Stuff we were talking about, remember? Great, so come and get it. You're gonna do exactly what I say, or I'll have you killed too. Hey, come on, Keith. You know I didn't mean it like that. I got the stuff. Don't worry about it. I'll hold on to it just like you said. That's what I thought. Hey, what do you think of John Cougar Mellencamp? John Cougar Mellencamp? Yeah. I mean, I like him. I'm a fan. Guess he scored 2 tickets to see him live. No way. We're seeing Mellencamp? We're seeing Mellencamp. Guess who's opening? Who? John Denver. That's it. I'm calling it. This is the best day of my life. Alright, talk to you later, buddy. For sure, for sure.
J'ai 15 ans, qu'est-ce que je fais? Qu'est-ce que je fais? Je m'arrête ou je continue? J'ai 15 ans, où j'en suis? À la fin ou au début? Stop, encore. Je passe le bac ou je deviens cloche. Je vais en fac ou au cinoche. Je prends la porte où je me supporte. Je fume du hache.
So, how do you know Keith?
Oh, my boyfriend tried to get me to kill him.
Oh, right. Classic.
Come to think of it, he probably still doesn't know that I had a romantic relationship with Keith.
So why is he helping you now?
I threatened to stab him if he didn't.
Right, of course.
What's it like being homeless?
Oh, you know, it pays the bills. But you know, I wasn't always homeless.
What happened?
I got accused of killing my parents.
Oh?
Yeah. It was the middle of the night. I had come home from a night of bending and twisting with a Spice Girls cover band, and when I came home, there was blood everywhere.
Was it Sugar and Spice? They're a great band.
Yeah. And so naturally, I was afraid there might be someone in the house, so I went in the kitchen and got a steak knife to defend myself. You can see how the cops would assume I was the one who did it.
Absolutely. Who's to say that cover bands can't come out with albums anyway? The Spice of Life? Easily in my top 10. Easily.
Absolutely. Anyway, charges were eventually cleared, but my name was already destroyed. I couldn't get a job. No one would talk to me. All I had was a shopping cart with some clothes and my collection of Lethal Weapon VHS tapes.
Wow, so
I know exactly what you're going through, and I'm right behind you to catch the guy responsible.
Keith, you've proven yourself to be more than... Keith's been put in a Home Depot again. You gotta go.
Oh, can I come?
Nah.
Yeah, and right here is where the assault took place. You know, you don't really look like a cop,
when you think about it, does anyone really look like a cop?
Okay. Anyway,
can I take a look around?
Sure, I guess.
Thanks a lot, sir. I'm sitting with my partner. He'll come back and give you a form to sign and all that. You know, cop stuff. I am a cop.
Right.
Alright, have a great day, Heath.
Keith.
Keith.
As for you, you bitch.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything. We're good. For now.
Why? I don't know. I guess Home Depot is just a great place for dumping bodies. No. Why would you do that to me again? What? The guy on the phone said he'd stab me. Instead, I got punched in the face and thrown in a Home Depot. Right. Who's the only person I can think of? No. Who is the only person in the history of time who has ever punched someone in the face and dumped them in a Home Depot? During store hours, no less. Like I said, it's weird, man. How do the employees not stop you, by the way? Look, I was with Keith the whole time. He can vouch. If you want to keep accusing me of Grand Theft Keith, go ahead. Or we could make some progress. What do you mean? I know his address. Whose? Keith's. You mean Keith Kenneth Carter? I know where he lives. It was written in an article about his death that Keith was sleeping on earlier. So I say we pay him a visit and search his place to see if we can find any info on who would want to murder him. Yeah, as fun as that sounds, I think I'd rather stay here. Here, take this. Don't worry, I got all I need to unlock it. What? I can unlock any door with a nail file and a Fig Newton. Keith, come see this.
What's that?
Ghost stories? Octopus.
Now that you said everybody free, what you gonna do about me? Don't wanna be treated like some poor grateful clown. I'd rather go back in the sweet underground. I can tell the time by the color of my skin, and I know my neighbor, 'cause he's the one. Yes, he's the one who always turns me in. A woman works the tunnel in the middle of the night, picking up every lost object in sight. Handbags, toothpaste, lost legs and fingernails. The black market eats up all.
Keith, it's about time, man. I've been waiting all day. How'd it go with...
This is your mother.
Mom?
I don't know how to tell you this.
What's wrong?
She disappeared just like the others.
Are you serious?
Son,
How?
You already know how.
I'm coming home.
No.
No, I'm coming home. You guys need me.
No, I don't. You ruined this family. You and Keith just had to run off and leave things like you did. I don't have anything else to say. I don't want to see you ever again.
Mom.
Brass monkey, that monkey must
alone?
Hey man, what does it look like?
Just gotta be careful. You know how it is.
Yeah, okay. What happened to this guy?
This is Keith.
Wait, that's Keith?
That's Keith.
He doesn't seem like much.
He's not really.
Is he dead?
Nope.
Why not?
Look, you want Keith dead, don't you?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, obviously his plan failed, and that hitman killed him instead. The way I see it, this is a blessing.
Yeah, I guess. I know we gotta kill that stupid hitman. He knows way too much.
And that's what we'll do next. We just have to wait a little bit.
I wonder what he's thinking about.
Could be anything, honestly.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think the most important thing for us right now is to stay quiet until the whole thing...
Wait, what's that?
Let's just go. There's some weird stuff going on here.
What do you think? I don't know. What do you think? Last night before I fell asleep, I was writing down a few possible meanings and... Why didn't you let me read them? Well, I didn't know you could read. What? Here's what I got. Maybe the book was hollowed out and had something in it, like drugs or money. Maybe Octopus was the supervillain name he used when wreaking havoc on the streets. Maybe he wrote a secret message throughout the pages of it. Okay, do you actually disagree with me, or do you just like saying Did you write anything about the person who was in the house? No. I didn't know what to make of that. Maybe a silent partner. Maybe the murderer. Whoever it was, it made you shit your pants. No, it didn't.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life.
I love you. What?
Yeah, that's what I'm always saying. Stevie Wonder is an amazing pianist because he plays with those dark glasses on really easily. And also... Are you?
We have a lot of important things to do. Can you knock it off? No. It was meant to be. Keith, I swear to God, just let me prove it, okay? What do you mean? Just watch, okay?
There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you?
I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. No good? We should visit the place where Keith Kenneth Carter died. Okay. What's wrong with you?
Right here.
Wow, that newspaper is really specific.
It says he died right next to that dumpster.
Does it?
See anything?
No, not really. And again, I don't really know what I'm looking for.
Oh, I love U2. Wait, what's that?
U2? An Irish rock band from Dublin formed in 1976 consisting of Bono, The Edge.
I know what U2 is. I meant what's that by the dumpster?
In my collection of Lethal Weapon VHS tapes. In my collection of Lethal Weapon VHS tapes. In my collection of Lethal Weapon VHS tapes.
That bitch.
What?
Oh, that bitch.
What are you talking about?
That bitch!
Keith, what's going on?
What a bitch!
Keith!
This is what happens when you get nosy.
Sorry, what'd you say? I was thinking about something else. Keith, I got here as soon as you texted me. What's up?
It was Keith the whole time.
Killed Keith? What's wrong with you?
He was the real killer. He tried to pin it on me.
How could he have possibly done that? He didn't know you until this week.
Well, I don't know all the details, but it makes sense. He wasn't with us when you got punched in the face. He wasn't with us when we checked the death site. And remember when we searched the house?
Of course I do. It was yesterday.
He wasn't with us then either. He was probably the one in the house that scared us off while he was looking for the book himself.
Did he confess?
Well, no.
You know why? Because he's not the killer. He's a homeless bum who lives in a shopping cart.
Well,
this is insane. I'm going to get help. There's a hospital just up the road. Maybe if I hurry, we can still save him.
Wait! Keith! Keith! Keith!
You should go to her, Keith.
I would like to, Keith, but I'm afraid.
Do not be afraid. Just think about dying so you don't have to think. Then you should be perfectly fine.
I think you're right, Keith. I feel much better now.
I'm glad to hear this.
I'm going to go to her now, as you told me to.
I am proud of you.
You are a good friend, and I cherish our moments.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome, Keith.
I hope it goes.
Goodbye, Keith.
You should go to her, Keith.
I would like to, Keith, but I'm afraid.
Do not be afraid. Just think about dying so you don't have to think. Then you should be perfectly fine.
No.
Could be anything, honestly.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think the most important thing for us right now is to stay quiet until the whole thing...
Wait, what's that?
Let's just go. There's some weird stuff going on here.
Hello?
Did you do it yet?
I didn't get a call yet.
We can't keep waiting on him to do this. Keith better be dead or in prison.
Or dead.
What?
In prison or dead.
That's what I said.
You said in bed or in prison.
In bed?
No, I said dead or in prison. Why would I give a shit if he's in bed?
I don't know, that's why I corrected you.
Yeah, but it wasn't a correction, because I was right to begin with.
No, you would have been right if you said dead or in prison.
That's what I said.
I don't know.
Just call me when Keith contacts you, and if he doesn't, you know what to do.
I really don't think that's a good idea.
Look at the sky.
Call me before you do anything.
I've been watching this very closely. I've been watching and rewatching, starting and stopping, poring over the details, and I have to tell you, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I really don't. From what I can gather, Keith and Keith were working together during the time Keith was paying Keith to kill Keith. But the idea of there being a silent partner avenging his death makes no sense to me. If Keith is dead and Keith is working with Keith, then who else could possibly be out there threatening Keith? Could Keith be right about it being Keith? If so, then that still doesn't explain how we knew enough about him to frame him in the first place. Perhaps we should take a brief look at Keith's background to get a broader picture of what's to come and to hopefully make sense of this entire situation.
Maybe it's my hair. Maybe it's my face. It's obviously not my social skills. Maybe it's the way I talk. He always hated that. Perhaps I smell. I always thought I smelled. Or maybe it's the way I dress. The truth is, I don't quite know what I did wrong. Maybe it's just the way I am.
What's the matter, Keith?
I feel like I'm in a weird cycle.
Sorry to hear that, Keith.
I feel like everything's going to go off its natural path.
Perhaps you should forget about it.
Forget about what? What are you talking about? Am I even moving my mouth?
I mean...
Are you just hearing what you want to hear?
Would you like a hug?
No!
So what are you gonna do?
I'm going to continue.
Maybe.
Look at the sky.
You may be right.
Now is not the time to quote, whoever sings You May Be Right.
Billy Idol.
Right, Billy Crystal.
So what are you gonna do?
I already told you what I'm going to do.
But what if, in the future, someone sets it up to make it look like you had something to do with my death by planning a copy of Lethal Weapon 2, when in reality it was just a ploy to get Keith to murder you?
I mean, that's a wildly specific scenario.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know.
I guess.
I'm starting to think that I've lost any hope of understanding this narrative. Perhaps I shouldn't focus so much on trying to make the story follow a specific order. Perhaps instead of narrating, I should just observe and see if the story finds itself on its own. So here, forget the order. Let's just push play and see what happens. No, not that again. Well, I'm really out of ideas. Is there any feasible way to understand just what's going on in this story? If so, I don't know what it is. Perhaps instead of focusing on certain characters that obviously aren't as integral to the story, we should focus on the center focus, Keith. After all, he did just get hit by a car. Maybe showing what's going on with him will give us some unique insight as to what the hell is happening here.
To go right, I'm safe on my block, except for the cops. Will they attack? Could it be 'cause I'm black? I
Oh, great, it's you again.
You've been away a long time.
Yeah, you said that last time. Oh, and by the way, thanks for talking me into getting stabbed, asshole.
Did you actually do it?
Yeah, dick.
I can't believe you fell for that.
Well, it worked, didn't it?
What?
It worked. I woke up an hour later with no stab wound, like it didn't happen.
Wait, if that's true, then my theory is sound.
What do you mean? What theory?
Someone else absorbed your wound.
What? How?
Like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Basically, I had this idea that there's another one of you that lives in the real world.
As opposed to where I live?
Exactly.
Which is...
Oh man, there's a lot you don't know.
Okay, I'm just as confused as last time. Maybe I should just go.
No. Listen.
What?
Something's not quite right.
What do you mean?
There was a person who visited here before you, just a few minutes ago.
What do you mean here? What is this, hell?
No, this is Pasadena.
Oh, really? I always imagined it looking different.
Anyway, my theory was that he was your other half, but he's molded into his own entity now. He doesn't look or sound anything like you, but he did. He's called the Linelli.
The Linelli? The hell does that mean?
What? I don't know, man. It means other Keith or something. The minutia isn't important.
So what's the point?
The point is, he was totally fine when he was here.
Meaning?
Meaning if he absorbed your stab wound, that means when you got stabbed, it transferred to him. But you just got hit by a car, and he looked perfectly fine, so...
So...
I think when you wake up, you're gonna hurt like hell.
You mean...
Yeah, you got hit by a car. That isn't fixing itself this time.
Great. So what can I do?
Maybe, and I mean maybe, if the person who brought this harm to you is destroyed, I can pull the Linelli into this place.
What if the person who brought me harm isn't the Linelli?
It isn't.
How do you know that?
I've been watching the whole thing. Look!
But it's better to be safe than the other thing.
Sorry?
I said it's better to be safe than the other thing. Fine, let's go. But I'm only leaving because the stink selection is laughable.
Okay, Keith.
So what do I do?
Destroy the person who did this to you, and I'll take care of the rest.
How?
Shut up, bitch.
You have to say that every time before you...
This is what happened one day when the ice cream van stopped by Tufty's house. Ice cream! And Tufty goes to find his mummy. Willie Weasel has gone off to get an ice cream by himself. Now Willie has been hurt. And all because he didn't ask his mummy to go with him to the ice cream van. When you want to go to the ice cream van, always take Mummy with you.
Who's the Linelli? Who's Keith's angel? And why is he in Pasadena? What is happening? I can't follow this, I really can't. I think I'll just move back and watch the rest of this play out. It makes sense of it when it comes to an end. Thank you all for joining me tonight. But I quit. Really, I do. Good night, all.
It's time.
Call me if you need me, and get it done.
Got it.
I think the situation just sorted itself out.
What do you mean?
I just watched him get hit by a car.
And who's driving?
Well, I would assume Keith is driving,
Otherwise...
Yeah, I would get out of there if I were you.
Yeah...
Keith! Keith! You're awake! No, stay with me. Come on, stay with me.
How long have I been out?
Like 5 seconds.
Oh. Who hit me?
I don't know yet. We should probably not stand right by the door, though.
You idiots. It's always been me.
Oh, wait. So you're not dead?
Of course not. It was all faked.
But that... Does that make sense? I don't know. I didn't write this crap.
Yeah, it's not our fault.
Wait. Wasn't there an autopsy?
You idiot. I own the doctors in this town.
But why?
In case this exact scenario happened.
Why not just own the police or something? Why doctors? That's not useful at all.
Well, that's not the point. The point is...
So wait.
Okay, sorry to come out of an early retirement, but I think I figured it out. You see, Keith wanted to cut all his ties with Keith and Keith, so he hired Keith to kill Keith, and then he hired Keith to kill Keith, so he could run off with Keith, whom he was probably going to kill anyway. But when Keith found out that Keith had killed Keith, he decided to fake his own death and pin it on Keith as an act of revenge. It's really quite simple. I'm ashamed in myself for only figuring it out now.
And I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling Keiths.
Alright, fine. You got us cornered. You win, Keith. If that even is your real name.
It's not. My real name is Brad.
That's a weird name, man.
Hope you guys have had fun playing detective because it's all over now. Say your goodbyes, you pluffs. This is the end for you two. You've had a lot of wacky misadventures, and maybe when this is done, there'll be like a clip show or something. I don't know. But if you two would kindly just...
Keith, stay with me. Keith, everything's gonna be okay.
No, Keith. It's time for me to go. I've been nothing but a menace to you and your life, and I apologize.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I just showed up, threatened to stab you, and...
Yeah.
And we went on wacky misadventures, and who knows, maybe one day there'll be a clip show after this. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
But it's time for me to go.
Keith, no.
I'm gonna go where Keith went. Maybe now I can finally tell him the truth.
What do you mean?
Spider-Man 3 was my favorite one.
You don't mean that.
No, I'm playing. Spider-Man 3 is by far the worst one.
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe the second Andrew Garfield was probably worse.
Don't spoil it. I watched the first one last night.
You've been away a long time.
guess that's it. Keith, you're never gonna believe how badly you fucked up by trying to kill me last month. No, seriously, Keith is dead, Keith is dead, there's a new Keith, he's dead too, there might be a clip show after this, after I fade out, I don't know yet though. What do you mean? Broke our sync? Well, yeah, we can go back to home.
It's all small town talk. You know how people are. They can't stand to see someone else doing what they like. It's all small town talk. You mustn't pay no mind. Don't believe a word. They'll try to do it every time. You can't believe everything you hear, and only half of what you see. And if you're gonna believe in anyone, you gotta believe in me. It's all small town talk, and it's a well-known fact. You don't ever know how one might react to what you're thinking. And in small town talk, you tell a lot of lies, make some people crazy and never realize that they're thinking. We're only two people trying to live together, trying to make something work. Who are we to judge one another? That
que je fais? Qu'est-ce que je fais? Je m'arrête ou je continue? J'ai 15 ans, où j'en suis? À la fin ou au début? Stop, encore. Je passe le bac ou je deviens cloche. Je vais en fac ou au cinoche. Je prends la porte où je me supporte. Je fume du hache ou des gauloises. Je fais des gags ou des ardoises. Je deviens dentiste ou bien artiste. Je quitte mes vieux ou je reste chez eux. Je reste comme ça ou je persévère. Stop, encore. Stop, encore. Stop. J'ai 20 ans, qu'est-ce que je fais? Qu'est-ce que je fais? Je m'arrête ou je continue? J'ai 20 ans, où j'en suis? À la fin ou au début? Stop, encore. J'ai eu dans l'eau, j'ai fait la manche pour les finances, j'ai fait la planche pour la rallonge. Mes vieux me virent, l'armée m'appelle, c'est encore pire que la vaisselle. Je joue les folles en uniforme, j'ai bâti folle en me réforme. Je reste comme ça ou je persévère. Stop, encore. Stop, encore. Stop. J'ai 30 ans, qu'est-ce que je fais? Qu'est-ce que je fais? Je m'arrête ou je continue? J'ai 30 ans, où j'en suis? À la fin ou au début? Stop, encore. Je marche à voile ou à vapeur, je me paye une toile ou bien une sœur. Je fais semblant ou bien j'y crois, je fais des enfants ou bien des croix.
I hope you look forward to an eternity spent in this place.
Do you have any movies we could watch while we're waiting for eternity to, stop?
I have a humble collection of Lethal Weapon VHS tapes.
What?
Lethal Weapon? It's a 1987 American buddy cop film directed by...
No, I know what Lethal Weapon is, but is that it?
I'm afraid so.
So what's to stop me from just leaving?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Maybe I will.
Sasquatch Fever and Sons